And oh, there we go. You can check this out on YouTube. You can check this out on Facebook Live. And we're up on Twitch as well. So if I look this direction, if hopefully all you guys can see me in this frame, you can check it out here. Hi, cuz, over at Instagram Live with my cousin over there. And yeah, we're going to play a little bit of jams first as we start here. So in case you are figuring out what's going on, greetings and salutations. My name is Erwin Benedict Valencia. My nickname is E. And if it's your first time in any one of my situations, you know, we do a little bit of jam in the beginning first before we even get started. Can you guys hear me okay over in the streams? Please let me know. We're going to start here like a couple of minutes. Livs is in the house from the Philippines. Please let me know where you're from. If you are on Instagram Live, let me know where you're from. Put it down on the comment section. Please play the share button as well to share this love to everybody else. The topic today for both you guys, I say both because I have two streams going on right now, is 3 mental health hacks for quarantine. So we're going to chat up a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of movement first before we get going. I'm going to start here in about 4 minutes. How are you guys doing today? What's up, Lorraine from the UK? Please let me know where you're coming from on the chat here on Instagram Live or on the chat here on the stream. If you're watching me on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, please let me know. This is truly one of those experiments that we're doing here, since you know what? It is this special period of time and transition. And it's when you try to do something uncomfortable and new is that you truly grow. So sending love to the Philippines, sending love to Preston, UK, Craig, and Santiago, San Diego, California. Craig Iams is in the house. Lorraine from the UK, greetings. Mary, my girl Mary, the Royals are in the house. Send me some love. Press the like, the love, the share, the comment. Let me know where you're coming from so we can show you some love. Mary and the Royals in the house. 1K one day represents. Thank you for the love and support all the time. We're going to get started here in like 3 minutes. We got Neil Guntu in the house representing New York. Maryland is in the house. Kenya in the house as well. Yeah, UK's up late. My boy, Carl Bubbly Harvey is in the house. Doing it, boss vibes. Doing the boss vibes himself. One of the guys that I believe has really helped me get through this situation and understand what it's like to kind of push the boundaries of what I'm great at. So Carl, I love you, man. Thank you for being here and showing up. I know it's late. I know you should probably be sleeping right now, but I thank you for showing up. So yeah, so we're going to start in about 2 minutes. In case it's your first time as well, greetings and salutations. My name is E, or Erwin B. Valencia. Yes, Mary, this hat. Oh. This hat, as well as the hats behind you, are basically who I am. And so there's pom-poms. So in case you need to know, these pom-poms and this hat are from Oaxaca, Mexico, made by artisan ladies, fair trade, distributed by Ubuntu Market and my friend Kitsia. So sending love to the ladies of Ubuntu Market who make these and these guys out particularly. So much love to all of them. So it is 8:04. We're going to slowly drop this music out. Quentin is in the house. Q, what's up? Royals representing. Big vibes, good vibes, positive vibes. And to Carl Harvey, boss vibes in the house. So like I said, greetings and salutations and happy evening, happy Tuesday. First and foremost, let me say gratitude to all of you for being here. I know you could be anywhere on a Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon out in California, or Tuesday morning in the Philippines at 8 a.m. Liv Xiao is in the Philippines right now, and the rest of the Filipinos out there. Much love to all of you guys. Thank you for being here, being with me as I share my 3 mental health hacks for quarantine. So, and if I said it's your first time and you have no idea why you're here and who you're here with, my name is E. I'm a well-being expert, a gratitude evangelist. For some, I've called the gratitude guru. I'm a sports medicine expert with 20 years experience, a yogi and a breathwork dude for about 20 years, and a meditation and mindfulness guy for about 30 years. So if you're wondering if I know my jams, I know my jams. I just figure out a way to package this very differently so that then it's more, acceptable for a lot more people. I think sometimes the world of mental health and the discussions around mental health and mental illness have always been either A, way too scientific, or B, too sad and direct. And people are afraid to have these conversations. And so I'm here to put it into light that mental health is a topic and a conversation we can all have. And it doesn't have to be too deep, too heavy, but it could be light. There could be dancing involved because we can look at the positive of how to address and how to share mental health love. My boy, SC Johnny, JP is in the house from California. Greetings and salutations. Please, as you're just chiming in on any of the channels, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, or on IG Live, please let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from on the comment section. Share the share button and press the like and love button as well. And I will totally receive it from you guys. So much love. So my mission is to make sure to bring impact into this world using service and education, using well-being and mentorship as a driver to bring it to everybody. I believe that well-being is something that everyone in this world should be given and should be allowed to receive particularly. And so by making it more understandable, make it more scalable, make it more, more acceptable and palatable, it allows for everyone around this world to just accept and know that mental health is just as important as physical health to our overall well-being. So if you have couple of housekeeping rules here, if you have any questions, just post them on the Q&A. If you are on Instagram Live, you can put it on the comments, and if I read it, I'll look up and kind of check it out. Or you can do the question and answer portion on the Q&A little question mark thing on Instagram Live. If you are on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, put it on the comment section and it'll pop up on the stream. The stream is brought to you by StreamYard. Just trying this out, and this thing has been amazing. So if you guys need to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom as you wish. If you all need to get a drink, and if you are in the East Coast or the West Coast of the US, that drink could mean anything from a water, or it could also mean an adult beverage. For those in Wednesday morning, all the way in the Philippines and Australia and New Zealand, that probably means a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And if you're anywhere else in between, you can be whatever you wish. And lastly, make sure you have a pen and paper, because I'm going to be busting out some gems for you guys if you guys are keen to listen and learn. So anyways, we're going to tilt this up just slightly. Okay, cool. There you go. Coffee for Livs back in the Philippines. So first and foremost, I'd like to go through a little bit of breath work and check in as we begin the session to formally allow ourselves to get into that session. So this is a breath work called Take 5. I learned this from my crew at XPT, Gabby Reese, Laird Hamilton, PJ Nestler, Mark Roberts, and Billy Savranik. And this is something that's easy that we can all do. We can also share this with our kids, and this is the rest of the family can learn this as well. And all I want you to do is imagine yourself at a birthday party. Make it your birthday party, surrounded by amazing family and friends, celebrating your day of days, love of loves, and you have balloons around you, but rather the balloons being around you, those balloons are within you. And your lungs represent the balloon, so that when you breathe in, your lungs expand, and when you breathe out, your lungs retract. You breathe in with your nose, you breathe out with your mouth. And when you breathe out, I'd like you to breathe out like blowing out like it's a candle. Just blowing out just enough that you're blowing a candle to let it flicker. To all my dancers out there, AJ Ross is in the house. She could be a dancer. Greetings and salutations. Let the flicker be like a candle dancing some bachata. Not the shuffle, like the shuffle out, but the bachata. So what I want you to do is think about those things, those three cues. Think about the fact that your lungs are balloons, and they breathe in and they expand, and they breathe out. When you breathe in through your nose. And when you breathe out through your mouth. And when you breathe out, you blow a candle like you want it to flicker, but not to blow it out. Capiche? Capiche. Okay, next, bring your right hand up, specifically your right hand. Bring your right hand down like this, facing you in front of the camera, like I am right now. Bring your left index finger towards the wrist crease. And all I want you to do is breathe in, as we talked about earlier. And as you breathe in, take 5 seconds to breathe in to get to the end of the thumb or the digit, and breathe out back to the center. We're going to do this for the rest of the fingers. Capiche? Capiche? Lives Yao, you got this? Lorraine, Carl Harvey, Craig, we got this. Q, AJ, Katarina, we got this. All right, here we go. You can close your eyes if you wish, or you can open your eyes and feel this feeling of your finger going across. Ko, I love you. Thank you for being here. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, keeping your eyes closed. If they're closed, put your hand on your heart. Bring your left hand on top of your right hand, on top of your heart, and continue to breathe, but breathe normally. Allow your diaphragm to work. Allow your lungs to expand and retract. Breathe normally and keep your eyes closed. And as you're doing this, begin to allow yourself to feel grounded. Oh, and that's what normally happens on IG nowadays, is that if you're not using the app and you're not pressing these buttons, they pause you. So keep your eyes closed. And as you continue to keep your eyes closed, think about what you're grateful for. In fact, think about who you're grateful for. And as you think about who you're grateful for, allow your energy that you just gave your hands, and now allow that energy to move to your heart. And feel that energy to your heart, to your head, down to your legs, above, below, and everywhere else. And once again, think about somebody you're grateful for at this exact moment in time. And if this person makes you smile by the mere thought of them, smile. Continue to breathe. Continue to smile. Continue to think about them and have them in your thoughts, in your hearts, and in your spirit. Allow that breath and that sense of gratitude to fill you everywhere. Take this moment to rest, relax, and be present. Take a couple more breaths. And wherever you're ready, in your last out breath, take a breath out, exhale, and slowly open your eyes and rise. Thank you all for joining me here. And that was that was called Take 5 with a gratitude meditation / intention. TJ is in the house. Rafi Felches and Co. Greetings and salutations. Welcome. If you just got here, Disuvana, thank you for the love. And thank you for joining us here. If you just made it, just comment on the section, both on the live streams, on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, or on IG Live. Press the comment on where you're from and we can show you some love. And press the share button if you like to as well. And make sure you send some hearts over to Like and Love this way. All right. So thank you for joining me with that. So today's topic is the 3 love from the UK. Love it. 3 mental health hacks for quarantine. And quarantine has been kind of interesting for everybody. For some of us, things have kind of moved on already, and it's been pretty good. But for some of us, things have gone back to like beginning phases, particularly for my fam back in the Philippines. And it's been a challenging time. So I've lately gotten a lot of questions, conversations, and been in deep conversations, technically, really, about what's going on and some tips that I can share with them of what I've done to continue to have this energy, this zest, this happiness in my everyday, despite the period of time of lockdown, despite the quarantine and the different phases. The question I get asked all the time is, how are you still so happy? How are you have so much zest? Particularly those in the Philippines, like Lilia Manibo, Lives, how is it that I have this energy? And sometimes that energy comes from within and from the years of practice and the practice of meditation and mindfulness and taking care of ourselves. But really, it's about the self-awareness of what it takes for us to be happy without anybody else's involvement. To my friend and my very old dear friend, JP Bear, he knows that I've always been this way. I've been kind of funny and funky, but this energy that I keep inside is something sometimes a lot of people don't understand. So unless you knew me for periods and periods of time, this would be new to you. So I'd like to share with you the 3 things, just 3 things to give you some mental health hacks to survive, in a sense, for this quarantine. So if you are all in, and if you're cool with listening in, say all in and put that down on the comment section if you wish. I'm all in. Put it down for you guys over in IG Live and for everyone on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. Show me some love, and can I get an amen or can I get an all in, please? Yes. There you go. 100% Co knows to do it. All in. She's 100%. Benjamins, baby, as my boy Carl would say. Benjamins. Yes. All in. I like it. I like the love. AJ Ross is all in. Like the love. We love the love. So the first hack we're going to talk about is movement. And before I go all in, I'd like to kind of tell you that all of this is available on my bigger course, that this is launch week. And tonight is the last night too, for well-being tools for transitional times. So you all are getting a good taste of what this course is all about. So Chip Creative, greetings and salutations. What's up? How are you doing tonight? So first one is movement. So movement is very important for well-being because movement allows for so many things for us. When we are kind of jammed up and we feel like we're stuck in a place and we don't have a lot of like ability to kind of move around just freely as we normally would do on a normal day, as we go to work, as we go to church, or we go to visit friends or family, or do celebrations, or do our gym classes and stuff. One of the most challenging things is trying to find a way to get movement. And why is movement important? Because if you move, and what does it do for our overall well-being and for our mental health? First and foremost, movement has the ability to decrease incidences and risk of depression. Number one, there was a study done, and there's a number of studies done, and one of the studies that has shown that if people move purposefully, like dance, for example, for 3 or more times a week, particularly at the age of like 75 and above, it's shown to have a 76% decrease in dementia. Talk about some mental health hacks right there. All you do is move, and particularly if you dance. And second, it allows you then to feel so much better. We got the Daybreaker fam in the house. Right as I'm talking about movement, particularly dancing, which then releases four particular neurotransmitters and hormones, which if you are part of the Daybreaker family, you'll completely understand what this means. And this acronym that is patented by Daybreaker is the acronym of DOSE. So movement, particularly if we talk about dance as a mental health hack, allows the release of dopamine, which then allows you for like pleasure, that feeling of pleasure. It releases oxytocin, which is about the connection that we normally get when we try to hug people. It's having the release of serotonin, which gives us that feeling of contentment, that satisfaction that we get. And those endorphins that let us not feel pain because we just feel so good. So as my Daybreaker fam would talk about, we would say this is the dose you get when you go dancing. And so one of the best ways to hack the quarantine and make sure to enhance your mental health and to flourish and to thrive at this period of time is dance, or just move. And whether that movement is big or it's small, or if you're doing a little shimmy or you're doing all the way to a shuffle. Elena Cruz, what's up? Taught me how to shuffle. I didn't realize that what I was doing was shuffling, which if you don't know yet, shuffling was kind of something that came out from the raves in Melbourne, Australia, and has become like a big thing now, particularly if you're a TikTok follower. All those like Running Man steps, which back in the day I used to do Running Man. I used to do Roger Rabbit, the scissors, all that stuff. It's just that now you do it so much faster to faster music. And that, I think, is like the massive difference. So knowing that dance and movement is good for you, particularly during this quarantine time, then why don't we do this? Also, another benefit of movement, and particularly of dance, is balance. Some studies have shown the increase of balance for those that are 65 and above, because they have the ability to practice this balance when they're dancing. And it actually has shown to be much better than trying to do specific balancing exercises on your own in the weight room or going to see a physiotherapist or something like that. Imagine just dancing either by yourself or with a partner or in a group, mask up, particularly if you are going to be with a partner. It allows you to get this balance work in, and you don't even have to think about it. And not only that, you also get that dose of dose. You allow the release of dopamine, oxytocin, of serotonin, and endorphins if you do dance. So, Helder, JFP, greetings and salutations. And because you have this release and this emotional feel that's flooding your system, and the joy you get, joy, it also helps you improve your overall fitness. So not only is it good for your mental health, it's also amazing, and I mean amazing, for your physical health. So the first mental health hack, number one, is movement. And that could be moving. You could do yoga. For some people, that could even be playing games, even board games and moving with board games like Jenga. It could also mean playing musical instruments, because you have to have a little bit of balance. You have to have a little bit of joy with these musical instruments. But one of the best ways to get all of that, and whether you're a dancer or not, it's about just getting the movement in, is to dance. So, number one, mental health hack, particularly for quarantine, that you can do right now, is dance. Capiche? Are we good? We good with the movement, aka dance? I'm sure the Daybreaker fam loves that one. So if y'all don't know what Daybreaker is a sober early morning dance party that was started in Brooklyn, New York by my dear friend Radha Agrawal. And what started as a little kind of experiment with about 80 people showing up at this bar slash club at 6 in the morning, that started with yoga, now has turned to a community of about 500,000 people in 28 cities around the world. So if you are a dancer, or you just like to find yourself enjoying life in general and be surrounded by people of positivity, look up Daybreaker. Look at Daybreaker up there. So Bien is in the house. What's going on? And all right, number two, as we get moving here, continued experiences. Everyone's probably wondering, like, what do you mean by continued experiences? Continued experiences, I don't know if you've seen what's going on. Like sometimes when the lockdown first existed or first started, and people started doing really funny things. For example, one of the things that somebody did was they found a way to get a swimming pool, put it inside their house. And what they did is put the beach on their TV screen and decided to wear their goggles, wear their Speedos, and swim inside their house with goggles and everything against the beach, like they were doing a Baywatch scene. That's one. Second, I don't know if you all saw this at the beginning of quarantine and lockdown too, is that there's a couple that was showing where they first show the view of like being the line, the horizon and the ocean being in front of them. And then as the camera panned out, it was basically a couple watching a big screen TV of what it would look like on the side of a cruise ship. And they sat down on their beach chairs, holding pina coladas or margaritas in their hand, wearing sunglasses and Hawaiian shirts to continue to just enjoy the moment. And the reason why it's important to make sure that you continue enjoying amazing life experiences is because life doesn't end. As challenging as the situation is of being confined in the space that you're in, all you need is a little bit of creativity to allow you to then expand and feel better. And by doing this, you also find yourself releasing dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, because you're pushing yourself in a situation that's slightly uncomfortable and making it normal and comfortable. And by doing that, you allow this feeling in the back of your head of this amazing experience that you had that you can share with people. And if you decide to put it on social media, or you decide to just video it for yourself for your own personal recording, or you decided to send it to your family and friends, it's one of those funny things that you can always remember, that in years to come, in decades to come, as you share this with your kids and your grandkids, you would always say, hey, remember the time that we were locked down in quarantine and I decided to pretend I was in the beach and put the TV screen on for the beach, and then found myself drinking pina colada, just enjoying the moment. Because in the end, it's about these moments that make our life worthwhile. If we think about it in such a negative way and we look at our confinement, then it changes our perception and what we think we need to do for our lives. But if we find ourselves just enjoying that moment and being present and using mindfulness to allow us to stay within that moment, it allows us to continue to have these memories grow and expand. I'm reaching over to make sure I show some love to everyone over on IG Live. I want to show some love to all you guys as well who are watching here on YouTube, on Facebook, and Twitch as we're streaming out here. So, continued life experiences. Never forget that life doesn't end when we find ourselves confined. Life ends when we don't find an ability to continue to enjoy life in this confinement. So, first one, as we talked about, movement or dance. Second, continued life experiences. And third, mental judo. Ooh, but a lot of you out there are going like, what is this mental judo? Mental judo, also otherwise known as real-time resilience, is a means of battling any situation that we feel is putting us in a sense of a trap, or in psychology, particularly in positive psychology, we would call these things thinking traps. Oh, and Ate Christie is in the house. Greetings. Mikey Ross, hello. And I'm going to get my notebook for this one because it's quite deep. So first and foremost, let me talk about thinking traps. Thinking traps are things like catastrophizing, are things like helplessness. It's the feeling and these limiting beliefs and these stories that we create in our head. So in the coaching world, we would call it limiting beliefs. It's this limiting beliefs, in a sense, and a lot of that also comes from a sense of culture, of our upbringing, where we are forced and conditioned to believe one way is supposed to be the right way and the only way. So when challenging situations emerge in our life, we go into these thinking traps. We become helpless. We become hopeless. We blame other people. We blame ourselves. We blame the person in front of us. We blame a bigger group of people. We catastrophize and we become helpless. And these are all thinking traps that we need to stop ourselves in, particularly when we are in quarantine. So the first tool before we apply this mental judo tool is to be self-aware. And one of the tools that can use in order to create self-awareness or increase self-awareness is mindfulness. By allowing yourself to step back, even just one step back, allows you to look at the grander situation. And then ask yourself, if you're going through this thing, you're about to go into this thinking trap, is like, am I going through this thinking trap? Am I becoming helpless? Am I becoming hopeless? Am I catastrophizing? Am I looking to blame somebody or everybody or myself? So being self-aware and the power of awareness and mindfulness allows you to take a step back. And then when you step back, you say, okay, I'm about to go in this. I need to stop myself. So stop yourself is the first move in mental judo. Just like in, physical judo, it's about observing what your opponent is going to do against you, and then to be able to fight that by allowing yourself to think of the technique that you're going to do. So what are the 3 different mental judos that we can apply when we feel we're about to go into a thinking trap? 1, and make sure you write this down, it's called reframe or evidence. It's called evidence. In evidence, the key phrase for you to say here is, that's not true because. That's not true because. So evidence. So remember this. If you find yourself going through a thinking trap, you take a step back using mindfulness and self-awareness, and then you tell yourself, that's not true because. And then you use vivid data to prove to yourself why that's not true. I'll repeat that again. If you find yourself being hopeless, being helpless, or starting to catastrophize, the first thing you would do is, when you feel like you're about to go into that, is to take a step back, be aware that you're about to go into a thinking trap, and then tell yourself, you know what? That's not true because. And then take a spin and use some positive thought using data to prove. Because, let's say, for example, if somebody says, and you're in quarantine, you say, oh my gosh, life as we know it is done. So before you get into that, take a step back and stop yourself and tell yourself, well, what do you mean done? Can you quantify that? So life in general is not done. And that's not true because, according to the data and according to your breath, you're still alive. According to the fact that humanity still exists, is that we're still alive. So that's not true. So that's evidence. Number 2, reframe. So the number two mental judo technique, which is another move if you're doing like a judo, is reframe. And the phrase for reframe is, a better way of seeing it is. I repeat, a better way of seeing it is. And then you find a more optimistic way of saying it. So if you're helpless, or let's say you're I'm blaming myself and saying like, oh my gosh, quarantine, I feel like I'm going to be bored completely. Oh, it's going to suck. Before you even get into that moment in time, stop yourself, go back, take a step back. Be aware that you're about to say that you're going to be bored, and say, you know what? A better way of seeing that is that I'm now given time to do something I've always been destined to do. I've now been given time to improve my physical and mental and emotional fitness. I've now been given time to learn a brand new musical instrument, or a musical instrument that I've always wanted to learn. So by reframing that, it allows you then to create more of a positive emotion towards it, and in turn, allow you to have a better well-being and thrive. Cool? So number 1, again, evidence. Number 2, reframe. And lastly, number 3 is plan. So a plan is going into a moment of a thinking trap. Like I said, either blaming myself, blaming someone in front of me, blaming a group of people, or catastrophizing or being helpless. And before that happens, you take a step back and you say, look, if X happens, I will Y, and I will develop a plan at that exact moment in time. By creating a contingency plan on the spot, it allows you to be in the moment and be prepared and less anxious. And as my friend JP Bear says, this time is definitely something we need to take advantage of. And it's our opportunity to better ourselves. Sending some love to my cousin Lorenzo, who's in the house right now. So the third mental judo or real-time resilience technique is plan. Once again, if X happens, I will Y, and I will develop a plan. And by doing that, it allows me to feel more prepared and less anxious. We get that? 1, evidence. 2, reframe. And 3, plan. Cool? So if I bring it up, this is the 3 things. It's ticking at the bottom. 1, movement. 2, continued experiences. And 3, mental judo. I'm trying to use these tickers, and so it's kind of exciting. So those who are on IG Live, you're not seeing this, but this is cool stuff. So that being said, all of this can also be seen in bigger form, in its grander form, on my online course called Well-Being Tools for Transitional Times. So if you feel you found value in learning about these mental health hacks that I've just shared with you today, go on the link that I've just posted today. This is launch week, and tonight actually is when we close the course. We don't know when we're going to launch it again, but for now, at 11 p.m., you can type in, go on Google and write Well-Being Tools for Transitional Times. It's an online course that has 22 videos that helps you through physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, and gives you tips, techniques, and hacks in order to deal with each area, and then in turn allow you to continue to flourish and thrive. So the title of the course is Well-Being Tools for Transitional Times. So that is pretty much it for today. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding these current mental hacks that I've shared with you today, mental health hacks. Remember today we talked about number one, movement, and in movement, particularly as it relates to dancing, which allows for the release of dopamine, of oxytocin, of serotonin and endorphins. Number two, continue having life experiences in every possible way. And three, mental judo, or real-time resilience. So, and in real-time resilience, the three main concepts of that is evidence, where that is not true because, and we use vivid data to prove why that is not true. Number two, reframe. It's about saying a better way of seeing this is, and now use a more positive or more optimistic way of saying or looking at things. And number three, plan. Having a plan by saying, if X happens, I will Y, and I will develop a plan. And by doing that, it allows for you to be less anxious and be more prepared. So that is my spiel, and that is what today is like. Lori Anderson, greetings and salutations. How you doing? Thank you, all of you. And yes, JP Bear, dance like no one's watching. And it doesn't matter whether you're dancing by yourself, singing karaoke in the shower, in front of the mirror, in front of a group of people, or just doing it just to do it, just to release. Yes, dance like no one's watching, particularly in the rain. So do that for movement because it's great for your mental health. Make sure to have continued life experiences. Weird little lines. Hi, what's up? Thank you for being here. You've reached the tail end of three mental health hacks for quarantine. We just talked about three things that you could do to hack this quarantine. One is movement or dance. I know you do that, Mariana, yourself. Two, have continued life experiences. And three, mental judo, or real-time resilience. So this talk, so to speak, will continue to live on Instagram Live, if on Instagram TV, if you guys are there on Instagram TV, and will also be on YouTube, Facebook, and probably not Twitch because that's streaming. So anyways, thank you all for listening in, for spending the last 45 minutes with me. And if you're keen, check out online course that's out, Well-Being Tools for Transitional Times. We're closing shop at 11 p.m. tonight. So if you want to learn more about these hacks, these tips, these tricks to not only get through quarantine, lockdown, but also to improve your well-being at any period of transition you're going through, and to continue to flourish and thrive. Check it out. Not only will you get 22 videos with exercises and explanations, so you will also be part of a Facebook group called the Well-Being Warrior Tribe that I'll be curating, and also be in there doing group coaching sessions. So anyways, check it out. Well-being tools for transitional times. Hope you guys had a good night and enjoyed learning a little bit of something tonight. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care, stay safe, and a little bit of reminder: when you wake up tomorrow morning, make sure you remind yourself what you're grateful for. Because when you do, the rest of it, when you're grateful, the rest of the day and your life is up to God or the universe or anybody that you believe. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Thank you. And we'll see you all later. Peace.